Hi, my name is William Buchanan. This is Rachel Bass, and today we'll be sharing our research regarding refugee experiences learning English during COVID-19. Our study explored the effects that learning within a virtual environment had on a single bilingual student in Southwest Florida. Our research yielded themes related to these experiences, such as differences in verbal and written competency, using media as a tool to learn English, and other themes that we'll be exploring.
In looking to the ELL population in Florida, roughly 10% of students in Florida are classified as ELL, with the most commonly spoken home language being Spanish. A refugee is a person who has been removed from their home country by force and cannot return due to dangerous conditions. These refugees often face a variety of challenges when coming to the U.S., and some of these challenges can be related to socio-emotional difficulties. Many refugee students have undergone distressing experiences and have had their schooling interrupted. Bullying, negative self-talk, and discrimination are some of the challenges a refugee student may face in the classroom. Assimilationist views in the U.S. make it difficult for ELLs to adjust and maintain their home language. Some linguistic challenges that refugee students might face are having very little familiarity with English or having limited schooling experiences in general. Most ELL programs here are not built to sustain and support the growth of these students' linguistic needs, and things like standardized testing and lack of home language support put the student at an active disadvantage. Some additional information on refugees is that they may experience unwelcoming views, socioeconomic hardship, and lack of support from qualified individuals. Some additional information regarding patient populations is that they often face an identity struggle because of the duality of their home language and also because of the need to learn English. They might also struggle because Haitian Creole might not always be supported in our schools here. Some additional information on Cuban refugees is that they often face the same emotional turmoil, linguistic rejection, and other difficulties other refugee populations might face.
In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, many educational institutions turned to online methods of delivery. This is a transition that uniquely affects refugee English learning populations. For example, students learning English reported having fewer opportunities to practice speaking English outside of the classroom, which is a key aspect of language acquisition.
The purpose of our research was to better understand the needs and struggles of ELLs during virtual and remote learning during COVID-19. These were our three guiding research questions. The first was, what experience do bilingual students have about learning English as their new language? The second one was, what needs do bilingual students have related to the improvement of their English proficiency in the virtual learning environment? And the third was, what strategies and approaches to promote the virtual learning of English do bilingual students find beneficial?
The single participant in our study is a 22-year-old male native Spanish speaker. He is enrolled in a GED program and participating in online learning during COVID-19.
For context, the study took place in Southwest Florida at an agency that provides services for refugee and immigrant families.
We virtually conducted 2 interviews about a week apart, each lasting roughly an hour in length. After each interview, the audio was transcribed, coded, and analyzed to identify themes. Those themes will be explored within our findings section, where our themes are presented alongside the research question to which they most relate.
Regarding research question 1, the participant reported differences in verbal and written competency. This was expressed by him saying that he has more time to think while writing rather than talking. Also regarding research question 1, he expressed that he felt depressed when he came here as it was a tough adjustment. The participant also expressed bullying due to his accent and his English skills. Also regarding research question 1, he reported experiencing unkindness in the workplace from his manager about his English, but he displayed a positive attitude and said he was going to try harder to improve his English. Lastly, regarding research question 1, he reported not having his culture included in the classroom environment.
In relation to our research question regarding the experiences of bilingual students learning English, we have the importance of social interaction when learning a new language with a focus on community. Our participant values using both Spanish and English with his friends and family. He also relished the opportunity to use English and Spanish in situations where being bilingual could be useful to himself or those around him. He spoke of being helpful with a beaming smile on his face. Related to the needs of bilingual students to improve their English in a virtual environment, the necessity of more opportunities to speak and hear English emerged as a theme. Constructing language in social contexts is a vital part of language acquisition and is reported as lacking in virtual classes. Another need was the availability of technological tools to complete schoolwork. Our participant occasionally struggled with Wi-Fi connectivity. He also cited his tablet as an important resource for his education. Related to beneficial strategies and approaches that emergent bilinguals use to improve their English, the use of media is a strategy that our participant implemented. He would watch movies with subtitles enabled and listen to music in English, for example. Another approach is to prioritize language learning. Our participant emphasized that when classes are virtual, it is harder, but there is no excuse to stop. You can do it, he urged.
To begin our discussion section, we discussed how not having his culture included in the classroom and his bullying experiences with others might have contributed to his depression and ultimately leaving of school. We also talked about how he felt there was a difference in his verbal and written competency and how verbal expression might have been an inaccurate reflection of his true competency.
Social interaction is a pivotal aspect of language acquisition that is typically lacking in virtual environments in comparison to in-person classes. Our participants' use of media, in the form of movies, for example, can be interpreted as an EL seeking out English practice that is embedded with more context in the form of body language on screen or subtitles. A common obstacle in online learning environments is ensuring that students have access to appropriate tools. For refugee students, this is equally important, and providing such students with the knowledge to use those tools is also key to their success.
Regarding implications, we identified some possible areas of improvement. For bilingual students, our participants said it was helpful when he used the examples his teacher provided and to also not see English as direct translating. It's also beneficial for bilingual students to seek out well-trained professionals when available as resources. He also stated that extracurricular resources helped him pick up the language, and he recommends that others seek those out as well. Regarding implications for teachers, teachers should accommodate the gap and differences in competency by designing authentic assessments and providing an adequate amount of response time. It's also important to incorporate a student's culture more in the classroom to help them make the adjustment period easier.
Regarding implications for administrators, our participant reported feelings of depression and not being represented in the classroom. Although he had an overall positive outlook on this experience, these feelings likely played a role in his dropping out of high school. If administrators and staff are aware of these situations and willing to act, they are in a unique position to create contexts and environments, perhaps by creating connections between the school and community leaders, where refugee students can feel comfortable as they acclimate to a new place. One obvious limitation of our study is the fact that it focuses on the experiences of a single individual whose experiences may not be wholly representative of a larger population. Further research could be done to understand how the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic specifically affect refugee populations. In summary, the purpose of this study was to better understand the needs of refugee ELLs learning English during remote and virtual learning. Our research and findings aim to do just that, and we also informed our implications that could provide insights for particular stakeholders. Thank you for your time.